So you guys are heading down the path that they originally started with. And as soon as you guys get to the end of the corridor, what's his name? Rockwell's like, all right, and he immediately starts to turn to the right and starts to head that way, knowing that that's the quicker way to get back to the ship. Fucking Carmine's like, what the fuck? And he sees him right there, so feel free to say something snippy as you literally have to like turn him around to go left because he's heading right, which is the opposite direction of correct.
Wrong way, you bloody idiot.
And so
I think I know better than you.
And so Lena
Your loss.
Lena can come back and kind of like a double down with, no, it is this way. And so it's like 2 against 1, and you guys start heading down the way that Carmine was suggesting. And guys start going back that way. And as you go in there, finally you see the secretary. And you see the secretary, and so once again, knowing which way it is, Rockwell, being the leader of the group, immediately starts to turn to go down a hallway that he knows is the hallway he went down before. Both of you guys are able to notice, because of your successes, that the hallway he's heading down is not the way that you had come, but the hallway he's heading down is actually the way to the meeting that you went to. Feel free, one of you guys, to say something.
Idiot, this way.
All these insults. So you guys are...
Damn it, Rockwell.
He rolled... If you didn't roll dramatic failure, it would have just been, no. Yeah. So you guys... you guys start making it that way. As you guys are going there, Lena actually is heading straight towards the way that she's supposed to, but kind of catching a glimpse through semi-glass corridors in the nice way that you guys were at before. Carmine remembers seeing something that... that like the way a hallway is connected beforehand, for you guys to get quicker back to your ship, you could definitely get quicker this way. However, you probably have to blast open some glass wall. Do you mind blasting open a glass wall to get quicker back to your ship there, Carmine?
I am jump leaping through it, whatever just gets me back to the ship quicker.
So Lena's going exactly the way she knows she's supposed to, and at this point in time, Rockwell's just kind of like falling back and following their lead, realizing that he screwed up a couple of times, and Carmine's like, wait! And he turns, he starts running at a wall and pulling out his pistol. Pulling his pistol, is like, boom, boom, and jumps through the glass wall. It's shattering all around him as he's cutting through like an open grassy area across a hallway over to which way you guys are. You guys are kind of like looking like, what the? It is correct. And so Lena realizing it's correct, and I'm sure Rockwell being like,
Rockwell starts writing weapons discharge paperwork.
Yeah, cursing to himself, stopping even for a moment to realize this. Yeah. But Lena immediately following him, realizing that it's right. And so he's kind of like holding his pistol out to the side, letting it cool down really quickly, and then aiming it back in front of him again, and shot, runs and jumps through the other glass wall to get through the other side and starts making it quicker. Lena catches back up to you, and Rockwell just a short bit behind. You guys keep making your way to the ship, and this is where Lena finally is able to come in with her successes that she has, and she sees that there's the corridor you guys used to get from your shuttle to here, but then there was also the emergency exit that she noticed when she first came in, because remember, she was looking around everywhere, not really paying attention to the people, but more to the place. That was, she was doing her whole bird perch ability, like thing. I'm a sniper, right? So she sees the emergency exit, and she actually is going to kind of like, Carmine, and turn and shoulder her way through an emergency exit door, which immediately sounds off another alarm, just like a slightly different alarm. So the way that one alarm is going was like whoop whoop. Now it's like whoop whoop, whoop whoop, as it throws like another tier. And she shoulders her way through the door, which cuts the distance, the last remaining distance, in half, as you guys are booking your way all the way to the stairs. You're just sitting there thinking to yourself, like, fuck, I was going the wrong way twice. Now I have to do discharge paperwork. We're probably going to have to replace these 2 fucking glass walls. And we set off another alarm, which is going to be more paperwork. Wonderful. As you're pulling up the tail behind them, Rockwell. You guys are able to get to your shuttle. This is a shuttle that you're very familiar with, Rockwell. So you don't have to roll or anything. You immediately get the thing loaded up and ready to launch and chase. Now, get loaded up, launch, to take off and go. Now, you have 2 options here. Do you head immediately back to the Stalingrad, which is the Alliance frigate that you guys come from, or do you head to your ship, exactly, or do you try to beeline over to the other ship that's still trying to, or maybe just barely got out of, or is maybe way ahead of you, you don't know yet, you have to run scanners, to the Volus ship that the Batarian or Batarians are stealing?
No, absolutely going back to the ship. Our ship.
I
sent the paperwork off. I told them that, it's up to you how much of the message went through, because honestly, even though I was saying it's not
most of it, it was one of those like
bloated.
Yeah, it was one of those like 3/4 the message went through.
Yeah, so I did say that their ship is trying to take off with however many left inside. So I'm not worried about fighting the ship. I want to get back to our ship, or at least the hangar, because even if our ship has taken off to get their ship, which is actually what I'm assuming has happened in my head, so I'd go back to the hangar.
Yep. Your ship is kind of staying out of view, right? So you see, as you guys run in there, Rockwell is a bit out of breath, but he goes over and kind of slumps himself into his seat. He's like, ugh. It takes like half a second to kind of like do that, like, oh, good, nice to sit. But at the same time, he's not lazy. So as soon as he slumps himself into his seat for a moment, he immediately sits forward, turns on his Omni tool, slides out the interface so his perfect interface takes over the interface of the ship, and within moments the ship is fly ready. It's a transport ship. It's made for quick drop off and pickup. Within moments, the thing is fly ready, and you can start to see him getting ready. Could the two of you make me intelligence pilots checks, please? This is not Rockwell, the other two.
Okay, sweet.
So intelligence pilot, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
You strapping yourselves into the chairs?
So,
That's actually not that bad.
Carmine, you do not notice. One of the things you just see that he very quickly gets a ship up, and almost immediately can feel like and pick up off the ground, and the gravity. So the fake gravity that kind of like disrupts the gravity of the planet and takes over for the gravity of the ship itself. You can feel that transition happen or whatever, and you're probably getting ready to go buckle yourself in or however it is you're getting ready. Lena, you go on, you see everything, notice, but then you also immediately notice the trajectory of where he's going to do this. You kind of take a glance over, you see the algorithm that's set up, and you know that he's planning to head back to the Stalingrad. You cool with that, or do you say anything otherwise?
I'm cool with it.
Okay, so he
Still, in charge here.
plans it out. You don't even have to make a pilot check. You're really fucking good at piloting. You make your way straight over to the Stalingrad. The Stalingrad actually eventually hails you guys while you're on the ship, heading towards it. And so you hear, we should probably write down this name. I'm going to say, Rookie, take this note. Write down this name.
Yep.
So calling over to you, this is Lieutenant Treasure.
What?
Treasure.
Treasure.
Treasure?
Treasure.
Treasure. Okay.
Like yes, yes, very good.
Oh.
Yes, Treasure. Treasure. So this is Lieutenant Treasure. We got your report. Are we? Where are they?
I'll look to the other three. Like clearly I'm talking here, but not like last time I was like I'm talking. I'm like you bitches talk. You're getting fired. This time it's like you actually saw more of what was going on than me. So if you actually want to cut in, I'm not gonna kill you. But it's like they Soda Foundation. They're currently locked in a hangar, but their ship has weapons. They'll blast their way out within. I'll actually look at Carmine, like 10-30 minutes.
Something like that, yeah. Hangar doors usually secured against a vacuum and whatnot, just in case, but...
It's not a fortress.
Exactly.
It's a commercial hangar. They'll get out.
We've been running sweeps since we got your message for signatures of which ship might be theirs. Problem is, we're not very familiar with, you had said it was a Volus ship. We're not very familiar with the difference in their signatures from ours, and this is a planet that has lots of transportation ships on it. So we're having a hard time pinpointing which one this may be. Do you have any details that I might be able to use to pinpoint the signature that we're looking for?
I will Dropbox over the screenshot of the Volus UI that I took. Absolutely.
So you send that over to them, and he's like, "Oh, getting this is wonderful. Thank you, service chief. Thank you, service chief. Stand by." There's like about 15-20 seconds of silence. Do you guys say anything or do anything, or just keep you two silent and you're just flying?
I'm silent, determined.
Okay.
Keeping him in charge.
Do either of you guys like strap yourselves in, or do you do the whole like standing up and leaning on something and just kind of like watching as you're doing the
I'd
transit?
probably strap in just to be sure.
I don't need to strap in.
All right.
Yeah, you're probably like leaning over the bloody pilot because you know how to pilot as well. So you're probably like leaning over the seat.
So he straps in, she straps on, and you guys start going. So he gets back to you like again about 15-20 seconds later. He goes, Thank you for that little bit of information. I believe we're able to pinpoint the signature that we're looking for here. There's actually a few different ones. Can you tell me about the direction of where the ship was?
I'd probably send him over the coordinates of the hangar at this point, because I imagine that we'd be able to have coordinates of where this all was going down.
Absolutely.
I did ping that guard on the way there.
What did you say?
I did ping that guard on the way there, so I would probably have the...
So you send like the coordinates of where you guys were recently, but then more important than that, she's actually able to send pinpoint coordinates for the dead guy that's in the hangar.
Right now.
So he's like, oh, I'm getting 2 sets of data here. Which one should I be using?
Mine.
Second. So the second one going in. Yep. And he doesn't know it's a corpse, right? So he's like, all right. Oh, yes. Okay. I see there's a ship that's near there. Could you get back to the Stalingrad immediately?
We are en route.
Make for me. You can once again. You can keep moving, no problem, or you can try to like really burn those thrusters to get to increase the speed that you're going at. Either sit back and allow time to pass, or make me a pilot check to burn the thrusters.
You gotta take the pilot check, right? Yeah. Okay. It's almost a little out of character, but you've got to do it.
Snake eyes.
It's too tempting. But you know what I'll do? This is a little transport ship. I'll actually nod to Lena to get her to help with the boosting. I'll actually say, literally, we need more speed. So she can assist me for a +1.
So more or less, Lena, you're gonna make
also a pilot.
Lena, you're for piloting. So you're trying to get more energy. So she's gonna do an electronics check. But Lena, I can tell you, your electronics checks DC is super easy. It's just a 6.
Okay. So you want me to do electronics, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep, because this is not abnormal for you to convert power from like shields to thrusters and stuff like that.
You do that all the time in space battles,
yeah.
You know.
Is it intelligence, wisdom?
My apologies. Intelligence, electronics, DC 6 is super easy. So you get no modifier. There you go.
Cool.
So as soon as you say that, she like understood what you were asking halfway through the request, and by the time you finish your sentence, like a half moment later, you have the extra energy. Make for me your pilot check, and you're gonna do it with that +1.
Hey.
Perfect. So your DC was 8, and so you're able to get your ship there significantly faster, and you're able to line up to the Stalingrad. The Stalingrad already has its like area where you're going to attach to, ready to take you in. Once again, you kind of think the landing of this. It's not like this is built into the side of it, much like you would imagine, say, the Serenity on Firefly. This actually lands inside of the vessel, much like you would imagine the back of an actual like military large airplane opens up and you fly into it. Exactly. So you actually fly into the ship, and once you get in there, it's like a maglock holds onto you, and you kind of like sit on the part of the ship that opens up. Maglock grabs you, and you allow it to just take over. And once the thing closes, once again, maglocks kind of like take over your ship from overhead, and it moves you forward like a big crane sort of thing. Just holds you with like a magnetic field, moves you and puts you in place to where you are, so you don't have to worry about that fine-tuned kind of piloting as long as that's functioning. And it'll put you exactly where you are, and it holds you in place and rests down on the ground nice and gently. You guys are in fact on the ship. As the thing's kind of like settling down, you hear commands come over your personal comms, Rockwell, saying, "Report immediately to the bridge, please."
I'll take a breath. And then like another breath, and then like undo the seatbelt because I'm responsible and get out.
Nice. So you clip like.
And actually would run back up to the bridge, you know, jog anyway.
Clip, and then you get up and you and then you start hoofing it once you get out of your actual little thing. Get up to the bridge where you got hopping. Do you guys follow him, or do you kind of like hang back?
I'll hand back. If I'm not told to go, then I won't go.
Yep, you guys
I'd probably ready my equipment again just in case. We weren't told to follow him, so
exactly. Yeah.
He can explain all the damage I did to the facility there. That's fine.
You go running to the elevator, and once you get to the elevator, you can see that there is a Private Johnson. That's right, Private Johnson.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. There's a Private Johnson. Private Johnson is standing there, and he's actually at the elevator, literally waiting for you. So as soon as you're like walking to the elevator, he hits the button to get back to the bridge, and he hands. So he holds out to you like a little data, almost like it's like the frame of a tablet, but has only a hollow display on the inside. And so he hands you something that gives you like a more or less a quick update of everything that's there. So as you look at this thing, you're quickly kind of like scrolling through it and try to. You're probably not reading. Well, let me ask: Are you reading every detail, or are you just trying to do a quick skim?
Skim.
More or less, you can see that the ship was found, already broken from the hangar. It burned its thrusters through the atmo in a very dangerous way. Whether or not it took damage is unknown, and it's trying to fly to the closest mass relay right now. And so like that's quickly what you see that's there. As soon as like the doors open up, he like holds out his hand to take the thing from you, and you go jogging to the bridge itself. You guys down there, as you saw, he kind of like took a moment. You guys probably took a moment yourselves. Unbuckled himself, opened the door, and went jogging out of there as quickly as he could. You guys, however, easily walk your way out of the transport ship that you were on. I mean, you're over by the shooting range anyway, so I imagine Carmine kind of like walks over, pulling out his gun, checking it, making sure things are good. Immediately walks up without even like really, just kind of like beep, wipes his Omni tool by like the check-in area, allows it to go like ding, and all of his information pops up, his preferred settings, the fact that he's holding an assault rifle sets up, and he literally just walks up to it, and before he even gets fully in place, just starts taking shots at it to make sure that his assault rifle is good with everything that he just went through. Lena, however, immediately goes over to like the workbench where it is. There's not even words between them, not even a look between them. She goes over, puts her sniper rifle down there, immediately starts taking it apart and starts cleaning it, making sure everything's there, checking the fine-tuning of it, and so on and so forth.
My mind.
Yeah, they're just like, they're good. They're good to go. Like we did our job.
Professionals, yeah. We're professionals.
Yeah. So you immediately get to the bridge. As soon as you get to the bridge, the captain.
I've got it.
Daxton, thank you. Captain Daxton looks immediately over at you and says, because you're no longer service chief now that the mission's
I'm
over.
Back to petty officer.
Yep. He goes, Petty Officer Rockwell, take your station. And as soon as
I would be, yeah.
As soon as he says that, the person that was sitting in the seat that was once again the second in command seat immediately gets up and just kind of like walks out of the room to go wherever it is that they're supposed to go. And he kind of gets up. The two of you are able to like look and give a quick nod, and you sit down and you take your seat, and you're kind of like once again like out of breath. The primary pilot of the ship kind of looks down at you, just kind of like giving you like an assessing look, like, you okay?
I would look back. I would nod, but I'm clearly a little out of breath.
Yeah, so you like look at them like a little out of breath, but, like give like a nod.
A little frazzled, yeah.
And he nods back at you with like a little quarter smile, and then immediately
smell like weapons. I would smell like Batarian pistols.
You would smell all sorts of fun smells. I mean, you also have blood on you and shit. You just murdered two people and whatnot. You still haven't had time to process that. So anyways, all of a sudden you kind of like, he looks at you, gives like a bit of a wry smile. You see he hits a button and like slides like a little slide bar over, and immediately your screen is taking over with all of the systems and everything for the defensive part of combat.
Oh yeah.
So more or less, he's taking over the primary for the actual flying of the ship, but everything, like the nuance moves and everything they have to do, the anticipatory algorithms that you have to do to look at their ship. He immediately gives that to you. Once again, the way that combat works, intership combat works in Mass Effect is the ships just kind of like fly and swoop by each other, and all the attacks hit at first. All the attacks hit because the weapons are just calculated too fucking perfectly, and the ships are too fucking large. Like if you can thread a needle from 7 light years away with your laser, how are you going to miss something that you're immediately next to? You allow your defenses to absorb most of it, but then once their weapons start to like overheat and start to really get overheated, that's when their algorithms start to fall. That's where the defense person job starts to really kick in for like the movements. The earlier part of combat, you're not doing anything with movements. Your whole job is analysis. Every time that they attack, every time they do so, you're trying to learn everything you can about their weapons, everything that you can about their piloting skills, so that in a little bit, like after a couple of minutes, that's when you start taking over maneuvers. You know what I mean?
I'd actually be warning at this time that the Batarian ship was willing to ram infantry.
Mm-hmm.
So expect the unexpected. Expect a sort of unprofessional fight. Almost,
I'm going to allow you to RP that aloud to the bridge, whoever it is.
That'd be literally just what I'd say, but in like Carmen's voice. Not Carmen's voice, in Rockwell's voice.
So Rockwell just be warned, they're willing to ram the ship into infantry, so that's the kind of tactics they use.
Yeah.
The captain says, noted. And then he, speaking to the person that's in charge of the actual flying, he's like, all right, bring us in. Where are they? Looking off to somewhere else, he says, where are they? All right, we have a lock on the signature. They're actually closing the distance to the mass relay. It seems as though their FTL engines are significantly faster than ours. However, the trajectory they used to leave the planet was not like ours. We were set and ready to go, so we might be able to catch them off between here and there. We're going to need a little extra power from the engine room. And so you see the captain doesn't even say anything. He just kind of looks off to the side of the ship and he goes, I've already been, he says, engineering deck already says that they're going to be able to give us a little bit extra thrusters. However, this will decrease the power of our shields. In which case, when he says that, he immediately looks over to you, you knowing the cue, that means kind of like there's going to be a little bit of danger for the immediate part of the ship. Be ready to do some fucking algorithms really quickly. And so he looks over to you. You say something along the lines of noted. And he's like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first experience dealing with an alien force. They are not friendly. They are here to fight. They've stolen this ship from someone else. They do not give a fuck about us. They do not give a fuck about this ship. So one thing I do want to tell you is, this is not their ship. This is one that is alien to them. This is our ship. Every one of us was trained for this. They are flying a transport ship, which means their weapons were not designed for what it is that they're about to do. We are not flying a transport ship. Our weapons were designed for what we are about to do. We're going to engage with them. The first few moments, they will think they know what they're doing. They do not. So be prepared. Be at your stations and be ready. I do not want any cog missing its notch. Ladies and gentlemen, let's engage. And so all of a sudden you hear the whir of power go from the actual kinetic barriers to the thrusters itself, even down below where you guys are, where the ship just landed over, where you're kind of taking apart your thing. You actually feel like a bit of a lurch from the ship. Doesn't affect you guys. Fucking Carmine, it threw off your shot. It doesn't affect, like, it's not like you stumbled or anything, but it threw off your shot. You literally missed the bullseye by that much. And it wasn't because you missed it by that much the last 17 shots. It was only because that happened. I swear it. And you know what? Lena, you just dropped a screw. God damn it. Where did it go? You open up another little drawer and pull out another replacement screw and you go back to what you were doing. And this thing is moving at almost 3 times the speed it was a moment beforehand. As it's closing into this Batarian ship with lots of energy, thrusting this ship forward, coming in at a sideways angle, you can immediately hear the ding, 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 and everything all around the bridge of all the weapons trying to lock on. You can see immediately this person over there trying to read the signature of the kinetic barriers that ship has, trying to learn all of the things that it's using over there. Everybody's just kind of like furiously typing away at the computer. You're looking at your computer, and you actually don't even have a job quite just yet. You're literally looking at it, getting ready for when it is that you need to go. We're going to cut to break right now. And we're going to come back in about 5 minutes for our last hour of Mass Effect 2164, Episode 2, where we're going to have our first intership combat. See you guys in just a couple of minutes.